In a smoky, dimly lit room in Trenchtown, the beating heart of Kingston, Jamaica, Bob Marley sat on a tattered wooden stool, strumming his acoustic guitar. The year was the early 1970s, and Trenchtown, with its corrugated zinc roofs and dusty streets, was both a refuge and a crucible. It was where raw emotion met relentless poverty, and stories of hope were told against the backdrop of hardship. It's within this environment that one of Bob Marley's most enduring songs, No Woman, No Cry, was born. But what is the story behind this hauntingly beautiful anthem of resilience? To understand the song, you first have to understand Trenchtown. For Bob Marley, Trenchtown wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a formative experience that shaped his music and worldview. Named after its open sewer trenches, the area was a breeding ground. No Woman, No Cry isn't just a song, it's a memory. The lyrics paint a vivid picture of Trenchtown life, drawing the listener into scenes of joy and pain, interwoven with vivid storytelling. Take the line. I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown, Oba Irving the hypocrites. This wasn't a mere poetic construct. It was a reflection of reality. Marley and his friends would gather in the yard, sharing what little they had, laughing at the absurdities of life, and dreaming of a better world. But it wasn't always lighthearted. Trenchtown was rife with struggles, poverty, oppression, and the constant specter of violence. Amid it all, resilience was vital. Women especially bore much of the weight of these struggles, holding families together even when everything seemed to fall apart. And this is where the heart of the song lies, the duality of sorrow and strength, ground for both despair and creativity. Families scraped by in overcrowded government yards, communal spaces where people shared everything: food, laughter, tears, and hopes. They lived on the fringes of society, with little to cling to but each other. And yet, within this hardship, there was a profound sense of community, a camaraderie that uplifted its people even at their lowest. It was here, amidst the heat and struggle, that Bob built lifelong friendships. Among them was Vincent Ford, affectionately called Tartar, a friend and mentor whose humble demeanor belied the deep impact he had on Bob's life. Tartar ran a soup kitchen in Trenchtown, providing meals to those who couldn't afford to eat. His was a quiet, steadfast type of strength, and it left an indelible mark on the young Marley. No Woman, No Cry isn't just a song, it's a memory. The lyrics paint a vivid picture of Trenchtown life, drawing the listener into scenes of joy and pain interwoven with vivid storytelling. Take the line. I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown, Oba Irving the hypocrites. This wasn't a mere poetic construct, it was a reflection of reality. Marley and his friends would gather in the yard, sharing what little they had, laughing at the absurdities of life, and dreaming of a better world. But it wasn't always lighthearted. Trenchtown was rife with struggles, poverty, oppression, and the constant specter of violence. Amid it all, resilience was vital. Women especially bore much of the weight of these struggles, holding families together even when everything seemed to fall apart. And this is where the heart of the song lies, the duality of sorrow and strength. The phrase "no woman, no cry" is sometimes misunderstood. At first glance, some might think it's a dismissal of sadness or even of women. But once you tune into the rhythm, the soul, and Bob's soothing voice, the true meaning becomes evident. It's not "don't cry because there's no woman," as some misinterpret. It's "no woman, don't cry," a reassurance, a reminder to find strength even in sorrow. The song is a comforting embrace, an acknowledgement of hardship tempered with the promise of hope. It's also a tribute. Much of Bob's emotional and spiritual grounding in Trenchtown came from the women who nurtured him. His mother, Cedella Marley, and the countless women whose strength became an anchor in the storm. Through his lyrics, Bob offered solace, as though saying, I see your pain, and I am here to sing you through it. But there's another layer to this story, encapsulated in the Dylan-esque line, my feet is my only carriage, so I've got to push on through. This is Bob Marley's own commentary on self-reliance and the determination to survive. By tying his personal journey with the collective experience of Trenchtown, he created an anthem for anyone weathering their storms. And let's not forget the role of Tartar. In the official credits of the song, Bob gave songwriting credit to Vincent Ford. At first, this baffled many, Why would Bob, one of the most iconic musicians of all time, attribute such a significant song to a largely unknown figure? But the truth revealed Bob's deep loyalty and gratitude. By crediting Tartar, Bob ensured that the royalties from the song would go toward funding the soup kitchen in Trenchtown. For Marley, it was never just about fame or fortune, but about using his platform to uplift those who had stood by him when he had nothing. As No Woman No Cry transcended Trenchtown and took its place on stages worldwide, its heartbeat, its unflinching honesty, remained intact. Audiences in London, New York, Nairobi, and beyond resonated with its spirit. Whether you lived in urban poverty or suburban comfort, the song's core message was universal. Even when life is hard, there is a flicker of light in the darkness. It's fitting, then, that the live version of the song, recorded at London's Lyceum Theatre in 1975, became the definitive version for so many listeners. On that night, Bob Marley didn't just sing words. He transported the audience to Trenchtown, to the government yard, to the soup kitchen funded by a song. Today, No Woman No Cry endures not just as a reggae classic, but as a piece of cultural history. It's a story sung in hymns of hope, a portrait of Trenchtown painted with words and melody. And at its heart stands Bob Marley, not just a musician, but a storyteller, a bridge between the struggles of his people and the dreams of the world. It's a song born of simplicity, humility, and love, proof that even in life's darkest corners, music can be a light.